I'm back. This is the display room. It's empty because it's empty. Not because there's nothing to display, but just because I haven't bothered putting it in yet. This is brewing and enchanting. This is my best brewing station so far. It has 6 brewing stands and 8 chests, I think. No, just 6 chests. So it's got 2 more than usual. And one of these chests dumps down into my chest room. Then I have a farm, and I have an enchanting room with a book storage. Well, that one's not book storage. This one's book storage. That one was raw book storage. But these are just enchanted books, and I have an anvil and everything. Over here we have the water fountain. It's a nice little fountain, and as you see, the ceiling is not completely built yet. I like this fountain. In the next room, we have the lava fountain. These are all source blocks of lava that had to be carted all the way up here from the nether portal in my brother's basement. Very dangerous to fall into, very time consuming to make. Then we have it has the same design as the water fountain. Guest apartments for high quality guests. And these just have a few chests in them and beds and probably cause a lot of lag and furnaces and such. But there's, I don't remember how many of these. Like 10 or so. Nope, just 9. Then there's guest suites. There are 3 suites. This suite, which is the biggest and contains a partitioned off sleeping room with armor stands, growing pit for a garden, chests, enchanting and brewing station. Basically everything this house has, but smaller scale. Each of the rooms has that, essentially. This one's just more compact, built for one person. Yep. Each has a ender chest in it. And then there's a third room, which is smaller, doesn't have a garden or an enchanting room, but has more chests and 2 beds. Then the next floor is empty. I forget what this is going to be. Let me check. Oh, large suites. There are 2 or 3 large suites in this place. So these just keep going up here. This one's the nature room. This is a handcrafted bit of inside with the first house you build in Minecraft. And a little bed under a tree over here. The table next to it. I like how it turned out. It's very nice. It's kind of calming. This is where I noticed fungus spreading, because I had some mushrooms in here and then it spread over the whole room. Don't know what happened there. These are grown trees. A little bit difficult to get the branches off the outside of my tower, but I managed. Then we have the snow room here, which didn't turn out as well as I thought it would. Used to have snow golems in it, but they ran away and griefed my tower. Anyhow, it has this little snow mound over here with a beginner house in it and such. Then I haven't finished the rest of the tower above here, but it's going to be my personal suite for the next 4 floors. It's right now just floor layout sketch stuff. And then it's going to be a library on top, and I haven't figured out the rest of the floors, but there will be more floors. I have my spectacular view up here. Right, yeah, it's an amazing view. Yeah, it's nice. I'm starting to clear back. I was going to clear back a bow shot, but as you see, I can really shoot a long ways from up here. So I decided to just clear back about that far or so. Over there is an iron farm. We probably won't see it make a golem, but it's produced all that iron in that chest. It's a really nice feature to have hanging about. And that conveyor, or that rail goes out to the village where we get our villagers. And it is 500 out and 500 over. So not long enough to get the ridden 1,000 blocks. Then you can also trade with those villagers down there, so I've set up a little chest for you to store your stuff in. And yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd see a golem spawn, but you know, that rarely happens. Then, those of you who are observant might have noticed discrepancies in dimensions of this tower. And that is caused by one thing, and that being the floors are only half the tower. The other half of the tower is called subfloors. And I'll get to those now. Just let me get down to the bottom because it's best to start at the ground when you're talking about subfloors. This splash pool is a lot easier to hit. So if I go out this main door here, hang on, where'd it go? Lag. Let me check my clock real quick. Yeah, I got time. So if you go out this door down here, you see that little tiny door over here accesses the subfloors, which are only too high and are a bit cramped. They're for redstoning. And so that I can have a different floor as ceiling. Here's my garbage disposal circuit. Here's a drain from my garden. This is the garden collection. It's all water pipes and also takes from my chicken farm. This is my auto chicken cooker, which has now been turned into auto chicken smasher. And this was the first place I built an auto chicken cooker and the first place I built an auto chicken smasher. And as you can see, there's quite a few chickens in there, so I don't need any more up on top because there's enough. And if they grow up, they get squished. Or wait a second. Aha! So this is part of my lag problem, is some of these grown-up chickens have phased through that slab in there and aren't dying. I'll deal with that later, probably with fire or something, I don't know. And then this is the kitchen water containing, and also the drain into the chest room is here. And up the next level is, let's see here, the sorter room. The sorter room took up at least one subfloor and possibly two. And then we have an empty subfloor. There are several empty subfloors. Not every room needs a subfloor. This room needed a dozen subfloors. Here we have that chicken access pit. And we're right underneath the potions room. So here's that potion dumping circuit. And water holding. And then the throughway right of way to the rest of the building. Here's my floor of my enchanting room. And the rest of my building. This is the water containment subfloor. It's just a little hard to navigate. And then I have an identical setup on the next floor, but for the lava pit. And this is where my snowman finally died after griefing my whole tower. The next place we have is apartment access. More grief from snowmen. And basically I have a little lever down here. And same in the suites. That allows servants to pop up out of the floor in the guest rooms. And then I use the hidden lever trick, where you can hide a lever behind a stair block if it curves like this, to make a nice secret door that isn't really a secret door. If I can hit that lever, which I don't think I can right now because of the lag. But I could shut this door if I could. Yeah, I don't appear to be able to. Yeah. I got bored of this a bit because of the structure I have my tower. Basically, the lever's right up in there. And if I could get a bead on it, I could flip it from up top. Then there's there's another stair on the other side. And then the same situation down here. More snowman grief, as you see. Then large suite access. I haven't finished this floor. Looks to me like I'm working on it. Large suite access 2. Careful with that fire down there. Not much snowman grief, simply because there's not much to wander on. Then I didn't fill my entire nature room in with dirt. It's just a veneer. So here's a little access to it. And here's the access to the snow room veneer, which is, I think, how they got in. And then there was, I have this little bypass for my suite. So that there's this gray tunnel you run down, and it's nice and gray. I was running through here walling this stuff up, and then I kept walling it up and going up a level and opening a door and going up a level, and then all of a sudden I ran up to a door and I opened the door and boom! Green. It was really actually quite shocking. As you see, the nature room takes up 2 subfloors. It has these little hills in the corners that lead up to the subfloor. And all this green, after spending an hour laying down gray in a gray room of gray, it just hit me hard, and it was, whoa, green. Then over here is the white of the snow room. And up here we have just a blank subfloor. Most of the rest of these are blank. And that's my my tower for now. It will go higher. I'm going to try to get it to the world limit and top it with a pyramid. I think it'll be the second largest I've made, bumping the pyramid scene in bigger on the inside to the third largest. So now it's time for the castle grounds. You've already seen everyone's houses. There's the bed. I get all my lava from the nether. And yeah, there's not much in the nether except really long paths. Oop, didn't want to jump down there. Then we have this little bridge around the outside of my tower. And this leads over to my iron farm, which is a standard iron farm that I just found on the wiki. It works well enough for my needs. I don't see any reason to build an Iron Titan. Those are just too hard to build, too massive, and way too powerful. But yeah, it just grinds the golems there, and dumps the items down into there. Really simple system. But instead of building an Iron Golem, well, Iron Titan, I built something else huge. And it's over here. This did take me a long time to make. This tiny hut is the access to my gold farm. And my gold farm is the largest nether portal, with the next largest nested inside of it, with the next largest nested inside of it, and so on. And here's a side view. Just let me go up a few layers to try to get you a top view. I know I have a top view room in here, and it's amazing from the top, and most views actually. Let's see. this took quite a while to mine all this obsidian. There we go. Here's what it looks like from up top. It took a long time to hollow out this space too. It's a long ways down. I tried to use TNT for some of it, but I ran out of TNT doing this and had to find a desert. I needed a lot of obsidian for this build. I'll show you where I got it later. And down here there's a little walkway if you ever need to get in there. I don't right now. And down here we have the water bath, which moves all of the golems. They're not golems, pigmen. And as you see, there's a bunch of doors there in case you ever get stuck in it. And there goes a pigman right now. It only works when you're AFK down here. Basically, pigmen will wash into this item elevator over here, where they will be dragged up and then dropped onto some hoppers to drop their ingots. Then those wash down under my feet and into a main collection trough, which feeds into the mob spawner collection trough. And any baby zombies are fed down here into the baby slaying machine, which suffocates the baby zombies because they can't use the mob elevator. It also provides a convenient exit for players, because if you just ride this whole system down with the pigmen and you don't try to swim, you'll kind of sink out the bottom and you can go back and sink out here. There's a spider kind of snuffer, and then you just go over here and hit the button and walk out. Much easier than trying to deal with the elevator. And that's my gold farm. As I mentioned, it only works while I'm in it, which is a bummer. I was hoping it'd be full auto, like my iron farm, but it's not. So I think that's everything except the TNT mine I promised to show you earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording here, and I'm going to run over to that TNT mine.